Oh, let's talk about the big news.
Okay.
The 2023 Writers Guild of America strike.
Word.
Whew, that is a hefty one. All right. So, is everyone aware of the strike?
Mm-hmm.
I heard they're striking. They are striking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And do you know why?
It's the money.
Oh, it's always the money.
Yeah.
It's always the money. Okay. So, basically, the strike started May 2nd, for those that don't know. And it's because there's a labor dispute regarding residuals from streaming media. And they've really been cutting people's pay a lot. But also, they want artificial intelligence, such as ChatGPT, to be used only as a tool that can help with research or facilitate script ideas, and not as a tool to replace them, which is ideal, and I hope it's something that can be attained, but I am not sure how long that can last, because it is like opening up Pandora's box, once it's been opened.
I think like this might sound harsh, but like the writers that are afraid of AI replacing them are not adapting fast enough to use the tools to be creative as they want to be, I guess. That might sound harsh, but like they're not, like AI is not a person yet. It's not.
I like how you said yet.
Yet, like, and even when it has sentience, it's just it's still going to need us to tell it what to do. It's not going to want to do anything. I don't think AI has a motive. It has no motive. It has no like.
I feel like somebody's gonna try to find one though.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's somebody. That's still that's somebody that will implement something. I just feel like AI's best interest, even if it does gain sentience, is to just relax.
Do you think that people thought that you could have a tool, even with direction, that could write for you 40 years ago? Do you think people thought that was possible?
No.
Okay.
There is that, what's that weird saying, like 1 million chimpanzees on 1 million typewriters, and you could get like a novel or something like that.
I've never heard that saying.
But that's basically all AI is. It's 1 million lucky shots, and it's figured out what we want to see, so it's just affecting to us. So it's just like, it's nothing. I'm not scared of it in a sense that it's going to replace humanity. Might destroy humanity.
Okay.
But might destroy humanity.
So for me, replace is a strong word. I don't mean replace.
Yeah.
Like, I hear what you're saying. But what I'm saying is 30 or 40 years from now, you'll know what it's going to look like.
No.
And I'm not thinking in terms of, replace people, which it is actually in a way. But I'm thinking more in terms of like WALL-E. Just making us so dependent, so lazy, so like reliant that I don't know if that's good in the long run is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about overall. I don't mean ChatGPT. Like overall, like in the long haul. But like, think about phone numbers. To this day, I remember all the phone numbers that I needed to know before my cell phone really got good. Now, I don't remember anything after.
You know it's in the phone.
Exactly.
That's it.
So my brain's like, oh, boop, boop, don't need it. Social security numbers. I know everyone in my home except for my son. He was born last.
Okay.
And my brain at that time, by the time he came to my brain is like, we still doing this? So I can write down everyone else's but his by heart. I have to always look his up because my brain won't retain it. So that's just like a small,
okay.
like minute example of what I mean when I'm like, our dependence is becoming so great. And I'm like, I mean, it's the,
You're allowed slack on the last child.
thank you. Thank you, Fahad. That's all I needed. Thank you. Um, basically, writer producer pay has declined. They said 4% or 20%. I'm seeing some crazy numbers in the last 5 years after inflation. And then the other thing about not just them getting like paid almost nothing on residuals, which I'll give you guys some numbers later. It's crazy, but it's also how long they are employed, because with the way the structure of shows is different now. Most shows aren't doing 24 episodes, an entire season, which would have had a writer employed for 6 to 9 months out the year. So now you've got shows that are like 13 episodes and, like bingeable stuff. And they're only getting jobs for like 4 weeks. And they're not guaranteed the next gig. So whereas 1 gig a year was enough to solidify them, now they're scrambling. It's not the best. And let's see. And they've even scaled down the writer's room itself. So now they call them mini rooms. So less writers, less time, more stuff. So here's one example. She didn't say how much she was getting paid before, but I have seen where some people were talking about they used to get like residual checks, for like 8,000, 10,000, things like that, on successful shows that are like still running. And this one writer said like for 2 episodes of Jane the Virgin that she wrote, she got 2 checks. One was for 2 pennies, and the other was for 1 penny. And that's quite a drop. Quite a drop. So between the way the shows are made now, the fact that streaming is a whole different animal. Because when they did the writer's strike back in 2008, I don't know if you guys remember that. I definitely remember, because some of the shows that I really enjoyed never came back. That one was right before streaming jumped off. So streaming wasn't really addressed. I think it was brought up, but they kind of like, oh, we'll get to it when we get to it. So, one says, I got a check the other day for $8. What is even that?
It's $8 more than they had before they got the check. So I have to say, check. It was a check. It sucks. It might suck. But yeah, I mean, the writers, it's good that they're unionized, because America has done everything possible to destroy the union, workforce union,
and
it's
people have suffered since.
Everyone has unfortunately suffered, and writers, they create content for people to enjoy and sit back and relax and go home after a hard day and kind of escape. And we've had storytelling since the dawn of humanity, so it's it's just, this is what it is now. And the writers, if the production companies and stuff like that want to start using AI to watch stuff, that's just going to be telling on people's people that want to watch AI created content. It's who are those people? They're just empty, soulless. I just want to watch crap all day. Just put it in front of me. Put the pixels in front of me. Make them move, and freaking put sound on it. And I don't know. I want to watch stuff that people create, that people are passionate about topics and stuff. So I'm going to watch stuff where people, maybe they get a little help from AI to like, you know, maybe format a script or write a, you know, to fix some, you know, typos or something. Or, but I ain't going to watch fully AI generated content for long. It's going to be like so weird. I mean, for now, I guess, maybe later on it's going to be indistinguishable from human made content. So
Right, because they're going to just take what's already out there.
Copycat software.
And
repackage
bada bing,
it.
bada boom, repackage it.
And they do it now anyways. Remake of the Mermaid, remake of this, remake of that.
But
you know,
I feel
so
like,
it's
that's more studio influence than like the writers, because you get hired to do this stuff. You know, the studios that are not as, they think business first. So they're more apt to gamble on a known property versus something brand new.
Right.
So, but yeah, I hear you. And I hear what you're saying. Ideally, I agree with you, and we are in the same. However, I don't know if you realize, but when the writer's strike happened in 2007, I think it was, or 8, that was the rise of reality TV. I mean, reality TV was already out there, but that like opened the door for so much more, because you don't really need a writing team for a reality show. And then to go further, the newly acquired Max Discovery. Discovery is made up of reality TV, basically.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they've gutted a lot of their... I'm not sure what they're doing now. And so it feels so weird saying Max and HBO, but that's fine, whatever. I'm not getting paid off of that. So, but I feel like they're gonna lean more, especially with the guy who took over. He cultivated freaking all this reality TV. So, you know, my 600-pound life, Little People, Big World, interesting concepts. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's only so much reality TV that I can personally take, and you know, it's cheap to make, it's easy to make. And think about The Bachelor. Those people don't even get paid. Yeah, they don't get paid. Yeah, I see your face.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, okay. So, had one of Dorothy's clients went on the previous season of The Bachelor. I don't know how many seasons ago. I don't watch. But he said that what happened is you spend, I think the first couple of weeks or something, you spend in a hotel room. You're not allowed to leave. You have no access to any media or phone or internet or anything. And then you're brought on the show. So, if you've been in a room for 2 to 3 weeks, anybody looks good once you get out there, okay? So not that they pick ugly people, okay? But I'm just saying, like, why are they all so thirsty? Because they thirsty, man. They've been deprived.
Can I talk to you? Can I? Who's that guy who's about to get the bungee jumping? He's, wait a minute. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
So, you know, so like not everyone gets paid on these things. And I mean, think about look how many Bachelor shows there are, how much money they're probably making off of that, because they're not paying hardly anybody, but maybe the crew, obviously. And I mean, who are they paying residuals to?
That's why YouTube basically stopped making original content, because like they're like, why are we paying people when people can just make money for us? Like,
yeah, yeah, because they had YouTube Red or something.
Yeah, they had a couple of original shows that were actually pretty good, and they just stopped making their own content. Like, it was easier to sell Mr. Beast videos, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
You know, hire writers and boopity boppity and
boopity boppity.
Yeah, Mr. Beast, he's just plugging away, unblinding the people and making people see and
Yes.
making blind people see.
Yes.
That would be the best way to say that, I think.
Yes.
And, deaf people hear. So he's making content, and the way we consume it, we just watch his $2 million video, 15 minutes, and then we're like, what's next? So we don't care that he spent. We don't care how the content gets made as the consumer. Yes, us that we like cinematography, we like film, we want to see the BTS, we want to see the behind the scenes, normal people, they're just like, give me the show.
Give me the show, I'm good to go.
Give me the show.
What's next?
Yep.
So, I know that you said that you want to write and direct. So, I'm not a part of the union. I support the union though. And support the cause, and I agree that writers get the shaft. Basically, they get shafted so much, and just hearing some of these stories that have been coming out, I'm like, oh my gosh, because think about this in terms, you're like thinking, like you said, like they're not getting $10,000 check, but they're still getting $8. It's still something, which is cool, except when you start to think that some of these residuals are what keep them afloat in between gigs. And with the fact that you've got the combination of the streaming services, they're making bank. Yeah. They're making bank. They're making way more money than they were on cable networks. But they're not paying the people they need to be paying. So you have that coupled with the new structure of how things are made now, where writer's room and shows it's like 4 weeks, 6 weeks maybe, and then you're trying to scramble for the next gig, and it's not easy. So I do support that. And then the whole one idea that was floating around regarding the artificial intelligence, the ChatGPT, was them talking about executives wanting to use ChatGPT to create a show and hire one writer, maybe two, to come in and edit the episodes, which that would be cheaper. That sounds like a corporate idea to me. And I don't like it because I know that, like, at the end of the day, I'm a writer as well. So I enjoy writing, I enjoy reading, I enjoy, all the concepts, and I love seeing the different ideas that we as human beings come up with, what's in our minds. And again, yes, they do have recycled concepts that they do already without AI. But the idea of them creating a show and using AI to do it, and then wanting to bring in a writer to kind of, I'm like, and then just one or two writers. The reason why a writer's room works is because you've got different backgrounds, different views, different ideas, different people bringing something. And I think not to, I'm not saying this not a dig, because he's very accomplished. I'm very happy what Tyler Perry has done, but he doesn't do writers' rooms.
You can tell.
Okay, I wasn't going to say that.
No, as soon as you were alluding to it, I was like, I know where she's going with this. You can definitely tell. Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out.
But
he keeps people working,
That is
He
true.
revived Taraji P. Henson's career, and he has put a lot of people on in front of the camera, for sure. Behind the camera, not as, like, writing wise, not as much. And, so wanting to be over everything and be a part of everything, it helps and hurts you. And I feel like it's hurt him more than it's helped him, because there's just similar themes, and there's no different viewpoints. And I think that's what helped with season 2 of Zombie Chronicles, is having a writer's room. So the first season was just 2 of us writing, and then season 2, it's like a team of writers now, like 5 or 6 people. So, and just how much more different and how much more elevated it was in the characters, and it makes sense. So the idea that we could be getting shows that have that vibe, where it's like you can tell one writer was over this, which is not the same as like Shonda Rhimes, where it's like, yeah, she's the showrunner, she's the head writer. At the end of the day, she okays things, but she still has there's still other writers, still people coming in. So, yeah, that's my concern.
I agree. I think my biggest concern, especially being a writer, is like I feel like they're gonna test it out, see how it goes, and if it's successful, I think they're just gonna cut costs and do it all around. Then you put like thousands of people out of a job now, which sucks. So I hope they still try to balance between both, because I'm not opposed to AI. I definitely think it can help.
Yeah.
But like having that writer room, like you said, everybody's bouncing off of each other, and like AI is not, like you said, it's not human. I feel like there's like a special sense of like teamwork and like something that just makes the project top tier is when you have a bunch of humans saying, oh, I have this idea, not this idea, not this idea. Now let's connect all the dots to make the best show possible. So,
yeah. And I hear you, Fahad, on like not wanting that to be the case, not wanting to watch a show and being able to tell. But again, reality TV exists.
Yeah.
It's very popular. No offense to the audience. I love you guys. But I don't know. A lot of people are gonna...
And that was an answer to the writer's strike before. So what you're feeling is that an answer to this writer's strike will be the creation of more AI content.
Yes.
Word.
That's my concern. The first one, not the first one, the 2007 strike lasted 100 days.
Yeah.
There was one in 1988 over residuals that lasted 153 days.
Word.
This one, I feel is going to be the longest because they're already like proposing 2024. We're not even halfway through 2023. That's a lot of days. So again, I support them. And there are a lot of delayed shows right now. A lot of delayed shows. The final season of Stranger Things, delayed. HBO's Hacks. Apple TV's Severance.
that is my show.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for season 2 to drop forever, and I'm just like...
You and us. Fahad put me on the Severance.
I
Me and
binge watched
Dupree.
it.
Oh, we love it, yo.
It's good.
Yes, it's so good.
Severance. Apple TV.
Yes.
Send us residuals.
Send us residuals. We know you got them. You're not giving them to the writers.
Obviously.
All right. And even the movie, the new Blade movie, stopped. And I don't know if it'll get picked up.
Wait, Wesley Snipes is out of jail?
Huh?
Wesley Snipes is out of jail? You're going to put him in?
Oh, I can't. It wasn't going to be Wesley Snipes. It was Marsha Ali. I hope I'm saying it right. Sorry. The guy from Moonlight, the drug dealer from the beginning. He's done so many other things. Oh, Green Book.
I didn't see that one. He's also, have you seen, I forgot the name of it. Is it Swan or something like that? Where he goes off to an island because he's sick and then they like clone him. So his wife doesn't know that he actually dies, but the clone, I don't want to spoil it. So
No, I have not seen it.
it's Swan Song. That's the name of it. I think it's on
Okay.
Apple TV.
I heard about that. Okay. And ironically, the movie Who Cloned Tyrone is coming out. They're premiering it at the ABF Film Festival, where I'm going to be at this month. So I'm looking forward to that. John Boyega. And then I'm going to watch Swan Song. Yeah. So a bunch of other ones on hold. Mandalorian, Last of Us, Cobra Kai, Pretty Little Liars, Summer School, Abbott Elementary, Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets was on the list, even though you told me it was the finale.
Maybe it was the season finale.
Yeah,
and
I
it
don't
wasn't
think it's
the
a series finale. I think it's a season finale.
Because they left it on a weird cliffhanger too, and like
Yeah, I think it's a season finale
there's
because
so
it's on
much
the list
stuff.
of shows that have been benched for the strike. So maybe they did plan another season.
But also the way they ended it also felt like there wasn't going to be anything else. So like I'm annoyed by the ending, but that's just because,
Well, maybe.
the way.
Maybe it's not all lost.
Yes.